So when I heard, oh, great, Predator Badlands is on Prime Video, perfect, I pay for that. I can watch this movie. So here we go. Let's go. Oh, yeah, by the way, you got to pay $19.99. And I'm like, but I already paid you. The fact that I already pay for a subscription is ludicrous to me.
Original geek, that's who I am. Rolling 20s with my squad, we got a plan. Marvel heroes on the wall, D&D dice in hand. Original geek, across the land. Level up, never gonna give it up.
All right, welcome to Original Geek. This is the all fandom podcast where we dig into sci-fi, fantasy, comics, and every pop culture obsession that built the multiverse we live in today. So whether you're Gen X, Millennial, or just geek curious, welcome to the basement. Hi, I'm Steve Scarfo.
And I'm Jeff Shaw, and we'll be your Get to the Chopper for today's explosive final extraction. What's our topic today, Steve?
Well, today we're going directly into a random review. And we're
Unheard of.
groundbreaking.
It's time for a random review.
All right, so we're kicking this off with the random review. This is where we take movies and TV shows, we roll a D20, and we let fate decide the topic. We don't know if it's going to be hits, misses, or fights, or full-blown fandom wars. There's no prep, no safety net, because it's time to roll for review.
All right. Yeah, and we're reviewing Predator Badlands. I have to admit, we have to admit, we were going to do a Predator episode back when Predator Badlands was still in the theater. Things went awry. We didn't get to do it. And I thought we missed our chance until whenever the next Predator was going to come out. But Predator Badlands is crushing it in streaming. It's number one. It's doing better than Wicked Part 2. It's Wicked for Profit, I think is the title.
It's Wicked Greedy.
Wicked Greedy? Okay. Yeah, so Predator Badlands, it's crushing it. So we got an opportunity to resurrect our idea to do a Predator episode and a random review of Predator Badlands. We want to try to keep, obviously we can't be completely spoiler free, but for those of you who, might not be aware, but Predator Badlands is very different from others in the Predator series because we're actually not following a human in a human story. We're following Deck, a runt of the, we're like, Yautja.
Yautja.
Yautja. That's the name of the Predator aliens are Yautja. And he has to prove himself. Because they all expect him, his brood, his clan expect him to die. They think there's no way he's going to make it and they put him on a planet with the Kalisk, a creature that is the most fearsome in the universe as far as the Yautja are concerned. And he comes across a damaged, you've got the T-shirt, the Weyland-Yutani synthetic, like Lance Henrik. Is it? No, who played the synthetic in Alien?
In the original Alien, it was Lance Henriksen.
Was it? Oh, I was thinking it was. Oh no, he was in Aliens. He was the synthetic in Aliens, right? I know.
Right.
I should have looked this up ahead of time. Anyway, I just love that they're using, and because they had already built, obviously, earlier that Aliens and Predator exist in the same universe. And so I love that they have this tie-in without actually tying in an alien. It's the synthetic from that corporation, Weyland-Yutani. And so that synthetic has been damaged. Thea, played by Dakota Fanning. And
Elle Fanning.
What? It's Elle Fanning? Okay.
That's Elle Fanning.
Played
That's
by a Fanning of some sort.
One of the Fannings.
Thank you for correcting me right away.
No canon correction. I got it in time.
And this great film explores the Yautja lore. So very different from the other Predators, and fantastic. It's well deserved to be doing as well as it is in streaming. So very happy to hear that. And we're going to do a random review. And we'll keep it as spoiler free as possible.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So this is your chance. This is the spoiler moment. We do chop this thing up into segments and chapters. So if you haven't seen it yet, you probably shouldn't listen to the episode because I'm sure we're going to talk about it a lot. But watch Predator Badlands, then come back. So just for the record, the first
pause
Alien,
this, go watch it. It's in streaming.
And then come back. I do want to say this at the top. We always say this at the end. If you're with us at all, please remember to jump online, like, subscribe, check us out, follow us on YouTube. All the things help. Let us grow this show that we have so much fun making. The first synthetic, the character's name was Ash in 1979's Alien, played by Ian Holm,
yes,
who would later be Bilbo Baggins.
Yes, that's who I was thinking of. Yes, awesome.
Thank you for not having me canon correct Lance Henriksen, because that was the second movie.
Yeah.
So I do want to share this real quick. So I'm going to put this up on screen. I'll leave it here while we're doing our review. Well, I'll leave it here for maybe 15, 20 seconds. You guys can take a screenshot if you're really that worried about it or interested. This is how we do it. We have a list, as you can see, roles. We have a check type that we are equating to it, the element that we want to talk about, and the question that we're going to answer in our review. So this is why I do want to
say that we use AI to generate this random review, which helps us be less prepared. So we get it's very random. We didn't research 9 different topics. This is as off the cuff as it can be.
Yeah. So just to reinforce that, Jeff and I both just watched this movie in the last few days. And we do not, as much as this is on screen, this was generated 10 minutes ago?
About 10 minutes ago.
So we have no idea what these questions are. I haven't looked at them. So this is what it's fun for us. We get to see the question. We get to answer it truly, extemporaneously and have some fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. I paid for these words. I got to use them sometime. All right. So I am going to roll for you first.
Ooh, okay.
You get to go.
Let's go.
So look, if you guys have followed any of these, I'm going to use a different dice this time. I usually use my green one. I'm using a brown one. This one's beat up. This is my original D20 from the 80s. Look at how beat to shit that is.
So we used to have to take a crayon and fill in because that's almost impossible to read.
Yes.
Good luck there, Bob.
Why do you think I got these bad boys? All right, here we go. And you're not wrong. That is an 11. So a successful perception check. The dual role reveal. Elle Fanning plays both Thea and Tessa. A double take success. The reveal that Fanning was playing multiple Weyland-Yutani synthetics, one helpful, one antagonistic, was a highlight, allowing her to showcase her range and adding a trust no one layer to the sci-fi plot. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so slight spoiler. Okay, I said we'll keep it as spoiler-free as possible. This one's a bit of a spoiler because it's saying trust no one as part of this question. So Dec and Thea become kind of friends and companions, and Dec kind of sees Thea as part of his clan, but Thea can't get to the chopper without Dec's help. So getting to that, getting back to where she can, her legs were severed off, and so she's got to reattach her legs, and then she can meet up back with her sister robot or synthetic, and what Elle Fanning does really well is Thea has this very joyful, I've experienced all these wonderful things. And then, the flip side, even though a synthetic that looks identical played very differently with a very serious synthetic. We have a job to do and we're going to do it. And it doesn't matter who gets hurt along the way. But Thea also recognizes she has a job to do and did take advantage of Dec in getting there. Now, redemption after that. So she initially does betray Deck a little bit, so we've got that trust no one, but then eventually she does the right thing and live happily ever after. Maybe. I don't know. Go watch it.
I just hear the turtles happy together in my head as you say that. So I'll say I equate this to this is one of my pet peeves in movies. And it's when one person plays multiple characters, because it can go really, really well, which I think this one did, and it can go really, really bad. As much as I like Leonardo DiCaprio, when he played the man in the Iron Mask, he played both characters, because in that story there were twins separated at birth, and the original king kept his brother in a mask because he didn't want anybody to know it was the same person. Not the same person, but look-alike. And so I could not tell him playing one character or the other. There was literally a scene with both of them, and I got lost as who was who, because he wasn't convincing. Like Batman, Michael Keaton playing Multiplicity. If you've never seen Multiplicity, by the way, go see that movie. It's a great movie. But another dual character, right? He completely separates the characters. More in that one, it's 3. He plays 4 characters. He plays himself in 3 clones. But he was very convincing. And I say all that to say I think Elle Fanning did a great job, because those were 2 completely different characters.
Totally.
So I agree with that one. 100%.
And I assume we're led to believe that it's cheaper to create the same synthetic than it is to each synthetic has to look and sound differently. So
I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't see it, and I didn't realize it till the final fucking more spoilers, the final battle scene. All of the male synthetics all had the same face.
I didn't even.
Yeah, they all had the same.
I'll be more observant.
I was watching it going, wait, I think, that's the. And then they showed like 8 of them. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the same guy.
It didn't even land.
That's all right.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
4 failed decks. That's funny. Failed dexterity check. The buddy cop humor. The banter between the android and the alien. Was it a tonal whiplash? Was the humor leaning into straight man comedic chatterbox dynamic? Was it out of place? And then, did you find it charming, lighthearted banter, or did you find it annoying and out of place?
Okay. First pass, I liked it. And I think I liked it for the reasons they think it was out of place. I think one of the things that's the best about this movie is it's a departure. It's one of those, and we're going to talk more about the lineage of the 2 franchises, because it's a combining of these 2 franchises in a way we've never seen, right? We've done this before with the aliens, and we've done it with just the Predators. We've had both of them in the same movie, but it's always been at that peak stress level. And this is a traveler's movie. This is the first part of the film is them getting to where they need to be to overcome what they need to overcome. And so that buddy cop style of improvisation, I think it showed the Yautja, whatever, in a way we've never seen them. In fact, we hear them verbalize and actually speak. For the first time. You have to have subtitles. And from what I understand, they actually, like they usually do, they created a whole language just for this character, for this movie.
Because they're usually just like chittering.
Right. You just hear that. I can't do the voice or the sound. But I liked it. I think it worked because it was a way to explore both of these canons, if you will, of the synthetics and the Yautja without all of the overhead and stress of the world is ending at this very moment.
Yeah. And I disagree with the premise that it's the first time this has happened in the franchise. Because actually the 87 Predator, there was some funny lines and some comedic moments. And then especially in Shane Black's The Predator from 2018. That was very funny. So I thought Keegan-Michael Key's in it. And he's telling these horrible jokes to Thomas Jane's character. and torturing him with these jokes.
I will say, I never saw it, and I think until we talked about this the other day, I didn't even know it existed. So
I know more on that one later as we do the evolution, though. So, but yeah, so I agree with you. I think the banter worked and was not out of place with the franchise.
yeah. So again, if you guys like what we're doing, if you like the reviews, follow us, like it, subscribe. We've been putting these out as also separate segments. So you'll see this both as part of the episode, and we'll drop a separate one. So hey, tell your friends, spread the word. But now we're gonna move on, or are we moving back? Let's take a trip through time. It's a geek flashback.
I
have some of the
done.
cheesy. Those are the cheesiest.
No, that
throwaways.
was good. That was.
I'm
good.
actually trying to make them cheesier as we go. Like what? What's the weirdest, most cheesy thing I could say?
So, I know we're talking 1987, the original Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers. Well, Shane Black. He's more known as a writer director, not so much as an actor, but he was in that. Jesse Ventura. Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
He was in that. And it was a fantastic movie. And I think, when we watched it, we were already huge Arnold fans. 'Cause at that point, he's already been Conan and Terminator. And, this just kept building his, cachet as the action star of the 80s, I think. He became.
What do you think of so this is something I was thinking about earlier, and it's touching again. So this wasn't a sci-fi movie that they brought out. This was an Arnold vehicle, right? To your point, he was in the heyday of all of his action movies. It was him and his quips. You already did it once. Get to the chopper, right? This is one of the lines people know, whether they know it's from Alien or not. I mean, Predator or not, that's what it's from, right? This was supposed to be his movie, but it's become, he's only done the one, right? Predator became a thing on its own. Yes, it did great for him, but I think the franchise got more out of 87's Predator than Arnold did. You know what I mean? They grew this baby, if you will, from an Arnold.
Yeah, and I know, we'll just not cover this in evolution because we're touching upon it now, but I did not know that he was supposed to be in Predator 2, but they couldn't afford him because he went on. Terminator 2 was even bigger, and they could not pay Arnold enough, but I think to the benefit of the franchise, because otherwise, I think if it's a Predator 2, it's even harder to make sequels without him, right? I mean, I think it did help the franchise that he only did that one. And then also what I think also helped the franchise and live on outside of Arnold is apparently the first version of the script. It was just Arnold and the Predator in the jungle. He didn't have that team that he's like, I don't like this. I want it to be a team. I don't want it to be just me. And so I think that was a great suggestion and change. Something else that I read didn't know at the time, found out later in research for this episode, is that Jean-Claude Van Damme was initially the alien in the costume.
Oh, wait, he was actually the actor in the costume?
Yes, but I don't know if you've ever seen Tim Robbins, I Think You Should Leave. When he's like covered in like costume stuff in this one sequence, and he's like, "There's too much shit on me, I can't breathe." Well, that's what happened to Jean-Claude. He was in this foam heavy thing. He couldn't do any of his action,
his signature
flips.
stuff.
He was like, "I'm dying in here." So they canned him, and I guess he was also too short. Like, because especially when it was the full crew, like Jesse Ventura is big, Carl Weathers is big, And
Arnold, of
Jean-Claude
course,
Van Damme is the shortest one of them all. So they got an actor that was 7'2". He was actually the same actor that played Harry and the Hendersons. And
Wow.
so that's how we have 7
What
foot
a
tall
different
predators. And instead of being this predator that jumps and flips and looks like a praying mantis, they ended up with they tapped the guy who created Alien to create the costume for the predator, because initially it looked like a praying mantis when Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I'll say I think there's a lot going on in that whole paragraph there. First of all, I would love to see the predator do one of those Jean-Claude with the side kicks with the feet straight out. That would have been hysterical.
That's what they wanted. That's what they wanted.
I mean, come on. That would have been ridiculous. I think there's so much of this that I'm like, thank God it went the way it did. Because I think it would have cheesed the movie out. And listen, you know me. I love my cheesy action, especially the karate movies. Jim Cotta, one of my favorite movies of all time, because it's a Mystery Science Theater 3000 special. And it's horrible, but I love it. But I would have hated to see this movie kind of denigrated that way. But let's also talk about the guy who went from being the predator to Harry and the Hendersons. What a great duality of roles for that guy. So there is something that came up in my list generation, I'll call it. And this is something I never thought about. What do you think of the idea that the original Predator was actually more of a slasher movie? Because it fits more of almost like a Friday the 13th vibe than a traditional sci-fi vibe, right? There's something in the woods that's killing people off one by one. And even we as the audience don't quite know what it is. I mean, we have a sense because I think they show the spaceship crash, right? So we know it's an alien, but it's a hidden thing. We don't even see it for like the first half of the movie. We just see the shimmer and we see the lights, but we don't actually see it till the end.
Yeah, because it's kind of two different movies. It starts out, they fly in and they're attacking that village, and it's kind of just like almost like a war type film, and it's very traditional action. And then you're right, it's at that, once again, I got to put myself in my scaredy cat teenage years. Yeah, I probably was scared of that. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that's a fair approach. And I think they were terrified in that jungle, and it was picking them off one by one. And then there's the hanging corpses, because it skinned the humans up and hung them. Yeah, so that's definitely more slasher, scary stuff. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it before, and I'm like, it really.
Because Alien, right? Alien sci-fi, but it's scary. So yeah, I can see that.
And Alien, actually very similar, right? They're an exploration crew. They show up at this place and they find something, they don't know what it is, and slowly but surely it kills everybody. Well, almost everybody. But like in true slasher movie form, one person gets away or two. It's not like it's a process of elimination movie. Both of those, and we'll talk more about Alien in a little bit, but they follow that same path. But I do have a problem. We talked about this before.
Yes.
And we're going to have to take it to court.
The fandom is divided. It's time for Geek Court.
Oh no, I'm going to start this one. This is my pet peeve.
I'm just going to set the stage, and then you can make your argument, okay?
Oh, all right. Go.
All right. So normally, we are doing the Geek Court about whatever topic. So you would think this Geek Court would be about Predator. It is not. As we were talking about, Predator Badlands being #1 in streaming, we thought, hey, let's leap on this. But it did require us to pay a premium for watching Predator Badlands, which created a debate between Steve and I. And I'm like, we got to say this for court. So go ahead.
All right. I pay for a lot of services. I do. If you've watched the show, if you've listened to our random reviews, I love content. I am an admitted original geek for content. I love watching. So I have every streaming service. I pay for HBO and Apple and Netflix and Paramount Plus and Peacock and Hulu and Disney and all the freaking things, and I pay because I want their content, and they all have something that I enjoy. If you don't have a show if I like, I will not pay for you, but I do. And I believe this was Prime, and we have Amazon Prime. Like half the world or 3/4 of the world has an Amazon Prime account, and that you get Prime Video. And so when I heard, oh, great, Predator Badlands is on Prime Video, perfect, I pay for that. I can watch this movie because I didn't get to see it in the theater. We couldn't get there in time. Like Jeff said, we were going to do this before and we missed it. Just schedules and challenges and stuff like that. So here we go. Let's go. Oh, yeah, by the way, you got to pay $19.99. And I'm like, but I already paid you.
I paid $29.99.
Oh, sorry. $29.99. I think that was my fantasy, that maybe it would be only $20. So $30 on top of the fact that I already pay for a subscription is ludicrous to me. Now, I know Jeff's going to have some other arguments, but here's my thing. If I'm paying you, I shouldn't have to pay you twice. That's my, it's not about the movie. The movie was great. I'm sure it's worth the value, but I feel like it was a greedy double dip.
Okay. I'm not conceding defeat, but I will say, no, try to convince you or anyone else to pay an extra $30 when all of us, we cut the cord thinking we were going to save money and then ended up paying for all these streaming services. So like, I get what you're saying. However, the point I was trying to make about this being okay to spend that $30 is that idea that we got early access to something that we can't see in the theater anymore. And we don't want to wait the traditional 90 days or more between when it exits the theater and then becomes part of Netflix or Paramount Plus or whatever it's going to be on. So, which we're all paying for. So within that window, we need some early access to this content. And so for $30, still less than if you saw it in the theater with your family. Now I know what happened to both of us is we both ended up spending $30, which was a lot more than that ticket if just the two of us went to the theater. So we ended up spending $60 when we could have been in a theater with popcorn and drinks for that price. We didn't get the popcorn.
Drinks,
we didn't get the drinks.
A burger, a pizza.
I get that. Also, costs a lot of money to make these films. So that little extra grab, if it gets me a sequel, then I'll take it. I will pay it for that sequel.
You're paying the extra entertainment tax.
Yes, I am. But I'll tell you this right now, 2 months from now, when that's on HBO Max, I'm going to be pissed. Because I just paid $30. I just waited 2 months. I'd have it on HBO Max. God damn it. So I thought I was better prepared to make this argument for paying premium. I'm still okay with it, but I'm actually conceding this one.
Win. All right. So now that you've admitted that I win, I will concede the access. It's not so. I have two. First, let me go back to my own argument, which is, by the way, on Prime too. I'm not a fan of the ads in the middle of the shows. I watch some stuff on Prime, and every once in a while, I'll watch a movie, and there'll be an ad, or I watch their shows, and there'll be like an ad. Like, wait, I paid for the service. Yeah. Why are you showing me an ad? One of the things I liked about streaming services was no fucking ads.
They're sneaking in. That's for sure.
Now they're money grabbing, and let's be honest, Jeff Bezos doesn't really need a lot extra money. The multi-quadrillion whatever billionaire. But now we have ads. Now we have to pay for, and I get what we're paying for isn't the film itself, because like you said, in 2 months it'll be somewhere. Maybe even less than that, not for free, but included. But we paid the premium because we wanted it faster. We wanted to see it now. So some of that is on us. Part of that, we wanted to make this particular episode. So, It's our own problem, our own fault, but I still think it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah. We did this to ourselves, Steve.
Yes, we did. But we talked about it a little bit, so let's go back and talk about how this went from Arnold's slasher film, if you want to call it that, and moved on.
From floppy disks to streaming clicks, it's Geek Evolution.
Yeah, so I know we've already talked to Predator and how much we love that first film and what it was. I want to talk a bit about Predator 2. I did not realize it was a box office failure. Did you know that in 1990 when it came out? Did you know it was a failure?
Oh,
right.
I figured with Carl Weathers too, it would have been no, not Carl Weathers, Danny Glover. Danny Glover, because he was pretty popular at the time with the Lethal Weapon movies.
Yeah,
that surprises me.
I was shocked that it was a failure because I loved that, but I kind of get it because we've talked about this in other episodes where you're like, oh, I already saw that thing. Well, this is just the same movie, just put it in LA. I don't get Arnold, so I didn't even get Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. I just got Danny Glover.
Could you imagine Lethal Predator weapon? I don't know.
I just get Danny Glover. It's
you know why? You know why, Jeff? They fuck you with the chopper, Jeff. That's why they fuck you with the chopper.
But I thought it was. I liked it, and so, but that's apparently why we did not get another Predator movie without being attached to Alien until 2010. It took until 2010 for us to get Predators, which is a great movie. But and I know we got 2 Alien versus Predator shows, but yeah. So I thought, as far as that evolution, and then I didn't buy it. I was very into comic books, everyone, but comic books back in late 80s, early 90s. There were 5 different X-Men comic books, X Factor, 5 different Spider-Mans, 2 different Avengers, 3 different
Dark
Batmans,
Knight's Batman, yeah.
Weapon X, Wolverine. And I was shelling off enough cash for my Marvel comics and a few DC titles, and I couldn't do Dark Horse. Dark Horse did Alien versus Predator, which is why I found out that when Danny Glover's character's at the end of the movie and he's in the ship and he killed the Predator, he's looking around, there's an alien skull on the wall. So there's these different skulls on the wall, and one's the alien. I remember seeing oh, that's cool. So
yeah,
I thought it was great.
I didn't realize that the crossover started then in 1990, that they acknowledged the existence of the other that far back. I thought the first one was 2004's Alien versus Predator, but that's 14 years. Oh.
Yeah, it was.
No,
because there's.
Oh, yeah,
1990. Yeah,
14 years before.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I noticed it in Badlands because they kind of have a similar, all the alien ships, all the Yautja ships have trophies on the walls.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen it in other ones, but I did definitely see it here, and I noticed it that on the back wall in the original ship before the whole story really kicks off, there's a T-Rex skull.
Yeah.
On his back wall, right? So that shows how far back in our time that they have been. Maybe it was supposed to be something else. It pretty much looked like a T-Rex skull to me.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's so. Yeah, and then anything else on Predator 2 before we move on?
I have an overarching question. I'll wait till we get through the list, right? Because you said something else too. I forgot. Maybe it'll come back to me. Yeah, just some different ways of looking at how these two things merged.
Yeah, so I thought when we finally got Predator back and Alien versus Predator, and then Alien versus Predator Requiem was they seemed more like Alien movies than Predator movies. I know that that's probably not the way to think about it, but it did seem that way to me. What did you think? It was more
for the first one or the second one? I love the first one.
Okay.
I love the first one because I think because of the hype, And the fact that I liked both franchises, I liked Alien, in Aliens, I liked all of them. So the idea that they were in the same universe, and then I think the first movie for the Alien versus Predator actually starts out. It's almost like an exploration movie, almost like a National Treasure or one of like a Dan Brown movie, because they're searching for this ancient temple buried deep in the ice, and it starts like they're like, it's almost like an Indiana Jones, almost like this has this feel of, hey, we're looking for these artifacts, we're looking for this lost city, and it just so happens to be the hunting ground of this battle between the Yautja and the aliens that apparently has taken place many times in the past, right?
Yeah.
This is sort of what the implication is, because this is their this is their traditional place to meet and fight, and only one walks away. So it starts off as a different tone and does that switch into this, it's almost like a Godzilla versus Mothra situation on a smaller scale, right? They're tinier physically, but so I loved that. I honestly don't remember a lot about Requiem. I know I saw it, but I don't remember a lot about it.
So I think, now that, and it's funny, so I'm thinking more Requiem is landing, because that is more of an Aliens than Predator. But you're right, the first one was pretty balanced. Yeah, we had a lot of the mythology with the Yautja and its history on Earth and why they're here and what they've been doing and with these alien eggs and being a hunting ground. And then the Requiem picks up where that one left off, where the one they named Scar, because that's Scar, the Predator with the scar. He was implanted with the embryo, and it crashes back on Earth in Colorado, and all these alien embryos, these face huggers, just go all over the place. They're taking over things, so it's very, very, very. And then a predator that's they're nicknamed Wolf comes down to take care of things, but it's just a predator versus a ton of aliens. And then in the end, the U.S. Army or military, they nuke the place like a nuclear bomb.
Good old fashioned 80s movie, 90s movie army solution. Let's just nuke it.
Yeah.
We can't kill it. Let's just nuke the whole thing. There's people there. Nah, nuke them.
Yeah.
So
seems problematic, but okay.
Yes. So I do have two questions for you. One, and I remembered, do you think the crossover helped both, hurt one or hurt both of the franchises? Because as I'm looking through the timeline, hold on, let me switch over to the other one. Alien was first, then Predator almost 10 years later. Aliens comes out, a year before. Aliens comes out 86, Predator 87, Predator 290, Alien 392. So it seems like they're kind of leapfrogging Alien Resurrection, and then in 04, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movies before the crossover. And 1, 2, I think it's 4 Alien movies, 2 Predator movies, then this crossover.
Because Ridley Scott thought this was like Frankenstein versus werewolf meets the werewolf, like Wolfman. And thought it was campy and dumb. So he was totally against this whole crossover. So it wasn't until he had kind of tapped out a little bit that they even brought that up.
So you think they wanted to do that before?
They did. Because of the success of the comic book. Yeah. They were trying.
Obviously I said it before, I like the crossover. I like crossovers of any kind. I know I've said that before.
I do like they kept going with it, like for that synthetic to be in Predator Badlands from the same company that's in Aliens. Like, I think that's great.
Well, and this shared mythos of both, it's like, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Is that the one with all 3 of them? Brand New Day?
Yeah.
Like, though, that to me is one of the most perfect Marvel, because Spider-Man was always my favorite character growing up. Mm-hmm. So to see this merging of 3 actually actors, I liked all 3 of them they all had their ups and downs, but I liked all three of those people doing that part, and to see them in that merge was like amazing. And then they had the wherewithal to do a good job. So when I see these two franchises that I like merge and have it be what I consider a successful merge, I think it's just fantastic that they can take and little things like the alien, like you said, the alien skull on the back, and then there was the dinosaur skull, and then the whole crossover was based on the fact that this has been happening on Earth forever.
Yeah.
Right? This is not new. This is something that's been going on probably since the dinosaurs, right?
Yeah. And then I loved Predators. That cast was awesome too. Adrian Brody, Lawrence Fishburne's in there. And and I didn't know he was in it. So when, for those who are unfamiliar with it, the concept is that the Predators this time have shipped in top predators from different planets, and it just happens that this crew of prey that they've gotten that are competitive have come from Earth. And so we've got like Adrian Brody is like this tough mercenary, U.S. mercenary. Then they've got Yakuza. They've got Danny Trejo is a Mexican soldier drug lord or whatever. They've got Walton Goggins as the FBI's number one. He's in a prisoner. He's armed with a shank. Like that's all he's got is a shank. Topher Grace is this question mark. He's there. Turns out he's a serial killer, and that's why he's there. And you don't see Lawrence Fishburne, but he had been from a previous group from Earth that had been brought in, and he just happened to be a survivor. And he, so you meet him, and then it's really well done. I thought that's a great cast, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I remember seeing it. I don't remember that much, so I'm glad that you had that one. We talked a little bit about The Predator, which is,
but I want to talk about that during my epic fail. So.
Yeah, we'll come back to that one. But a couple years ago, now this was I saw it on Hulu as part of the service. Didn't have to pay extra. I think they actually made it specifically for Hulu. And it was Prey. And I think that really did wonders for the franchise too, because again, it reframes what we're looking at. It's more of a historical perspective from our perspective. It's, a Comanche, and it's a female warrior who ends up going toe to toe with this Yautja, which by the way, I don't think I knew that name. We've been using it. I know I've done this joke before with the Princess Bride, so I won't do the whole joke again, but it's one of those, I didn't know the word until I watched Predator Badlands. I didn't know that was what they were
Kaiju.
Kaiju,
Everyone's using that word Kaiju.
Yeah, well, they're just starting to throw out Yautja like it's just been a thing. Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then obviously we've been talking Predator Badlands.
But I want to say another thing I like about Prey that I didn't know until we were doing all this research that could tie things together. Danny Glover, as his trophy for beating the Predator, from the ambassadors, or they throw him that flintlock pistol that then is the one that's used in Prey. That one, that the pistol she gets from the fur trader, the French fur trader, is that same pistol that Danny Glover gets as a trophy for defeating a predator. And then
I didn't know that.
There's an animated anthology called Predator Killer Killers that came out after Prey, which a lot of people don't know about with direct to streaming. It's also very good. Same director and writer of Prey. So if you like Prey, I'd highly recommend seeing it. And that flintlock pistol makes yet another appearance. So just
that's cool.
A funny little thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I just, I know we got to jump over to hits and fail, or the message first, I suppose. But just to tie it all up, I don't think Predator Badlands happens without, and not as certainly in the same way, right? I was talking about the merging, but Predator Badlands is, again, it's to me a perfect crossover merge, right? We have again, we talked about it last week with zombies and where they use which words. They never call it a robot. It's always or an android. It's always a synthetic. But we have the synthetics and we have the Yautja, and then we have these new creatures that we meet on this world where the battles take place. But, whether you right, wrong, or indifferent liked the way we got here, the not final product, the most recent product, I think, is just a smash hit. I really, really enjoyed it on multiple levels because it has all the action you wanted to have, but it shows some other stuff that we haven't seen before.
Your kids don't know how good you've got it.
Every now and again, we use this not to talk to any generation, not talk to any generation. I'm talking directly to the studios because I know you're watching. Now, look, I defended you in the price I paid of $30 to watch this. But I want to say, just think about this. What if you charge us $10 for that early access? More people would do it and we wouldn't feel as bad about it. It wouldn't hurt as much. Like $10, like who cares? That's the price of an extra value meal at McDonald's. So make it $10. You'll probably make more money because more people will do it. They'll like, I don't want to wait 90 days. It's only $10. Sure. That's my message.
Dude, you heard my court. I'm going to jump right on the piggyback of that one. I tend to do that a lot because you make some good points there. Like, what the hell? You know, there's it's a business model that you have to choose. You know, smaller price gets bigger volume. You know, I would rather sell to 100 people at $10 than 10 people at $100. Because, yep, you might make around the same amount of money, but you're only going to service a handful of people versus a larger group. And that larger group will do what we're doing, spread the word. And you may or may not make more or less or about the same, but you'll get a larger group of people saying, hey, look what Prime did. They gave it to me for $10. And to your point, I would have paid $10. We wouldn't have had a Geek Court today. So I want to say thank you to them for charging me the $30 and pissing me off enough to go, nope, I don't want to do this anymore.
Further evidence that what we're saying is true, at least for us. And let us know in comments if you agree. Warm Bodies, I wanted to rewatch it for the zombie episode. Cost me $5 and I own the movie now.
Yeah.
I wanted to rewatch Night of the Comet. Was not an option on any streaming service. I had to pay $20. Guess what I didn't do? I didn't pay $20 for Night of the Comet from 1984.
That movie wasn't worth $20 when it came out.
Come on now.
Listen, it was a fun movie, but at the time movies were like $6.
That's true.
I wasn't paying $20.
It's critical hits and epic fails.
All right. What do you got?
Well, mine's an epic fail. So if you have a hit, we usually start with those.
I don't think it's any surprise. Predator Badlands, a huge hit for me. I guess I really have two. The final product, as I called it before, but now I know it's not final, of Badlands was great. I love the bringing together in a different way. We've only seen these two worlds truly come together twice, and it's been in fun, huge, campy battles. But we now get to see kind of behind the scenes a little bit of both of these worlds. Now, one of the things we didn't talk about was Alien Earth, which is another streaming show that but it delves into the alien side. But you see the synthetics and you see the aliens, and it's definitely an alien thing. There's no Predator involved with that, but Predator Badlands is there, and it is a fantastic movie. I'll tell you this: it's as much as I hated paying, it was worth the money. So if you want to watch it now, I mean, you could wait till it streams for free, but you could watch it now for the $30 and you would get your money's worth. I think it was a great movie. But the other, just the idea of the combining of these two things is a hit by itself. So the movie itself is great. And I think these two franchises have, I think I said it, rising tides lift all boats. I think this is another situation where both franchises are benefiting from the other. The question you can answer after that kind of fits into this thought is, does the history of these two canons and the way they merge, how did I say it? Does it help or hurt the movies that come after it? And I know what I think, but why don't you can answer that first or go right to your fail.
So first I want to say I'd double down on Badlands. It's awesome. See it. And it really gives me hope that we're going to see a true sequel to one of these great movies. I understand all of them are technically sequels because there's been no reboots. That they all exist in the same universe. Predator 1, 2, Predators, The Predator, Prey. None of those are reboots. So they're all technically sequels. But Predators clearly was supposed to have a sequel with those same characters. Not going to happen. That it was filmed in 2010. It's not going to happen. 2018 was not a success at the box office. Clearly, you're supposed to have a sequel. I don't see it happening. And then, but this one, I think we're finally going to get the same characters. We're going to see them again and another follow up. And I think that these two universes working synergistically with Aliens is in Predator. Yeah, absolutely. I think it helps the franchises. It does not hurt.
So hit us with your fail.
Okay. Epic fail is for a movie I actually really enjoyed. The Predator from 2018. And in preparation for this episode, I wanted to get as immersed in the Predator universe as possible. And I almost missed this movie. I missed it in 2018. Did not know it came out. Missed it entirely. Missed any marketing that was done for it whatsoever. We're clearly fans of this franchise. We should have been aware that this movie even came out. It came out, and I'm like, well, maybe another big hit came out that was similar. It came out in September, which is exactly what I would ask of a movie to do. Don't try to compete in June and July with the big blockbusters. Just come out in like September. Perfect time. Still did not catch it at all. I felt bad. And then I said to Steve, what about The Predator? And that's my epic fail. He's like, what are you talking about? 87's Predator? No, 2018. And so he did not know.
Whoosh.
And I asked another Gen X friend. I said, what did you think of The Predator in 2018? What are you talking about? No idea. So my epic fail for this movie is the marketing is part of it. And I think a big part of it is the title. Because if I told you that The Predator was a box office fail, you would say, what are you talking about? That was a huge hit. It created the franchise. No, The Predator was a box office fail. What do you like?
Predator was good.
Predator? So
The Predator.
So in Shane Black, who was in the original Predator, and there was a writer's strike at the time, and this is why I think he was cast as an actor in that, because he could do rewrites. And the original title of Predator was Hunter. And it's because these are not predators. Predators kill for survival. These are hunters with big trophies. That's what they want. They don't need this. They don't need to do this. They're doing it for the fun. And so Hunter was the more accurate title. I think Shane Black makes this joke a number of times in the film. And that should have been part of the title. And then it would have been a good callback to the original title of The Predator. And it would have been The Predator Rogue Hunter, because both of the predators in that film have gone rogue. There's not supposed to be an 11-foot tall predator, and that's not supposed to exist. And then the predator that we first encounter on Earth is bringing alien tech, predator tech, to the humans, and not supposed to be doing that. So this was a huge marketing mistake, titling mistake. But man, what a fun movie. If you loved the 1987 Predator, Shane Black, who did Lethal Weapon, he wrote that. He wrote Iron Man 3. Great job. He mixes humor and action so well. And he does a great job in this one. It's a fun movie, doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's a great homage to the 87 Predator movie.
It's funny too, because I had no clue, but I once again, I got to go back and watch it. I will say I found out an interesting fact because you mentioned that one of the rogue hunters there was bringing the tech to Earth, and they weren't supposed to do that. In my search for nuggets, I found that the reason why the aliens do a nuke if they're gonna die, like that whole thing, they're gonna blow up, they're gonna nuke themselves, and it was widely thought that was their sort of fuck you. You can't kill me. I'm going to kill myself, and I'm going to take myself out. But it wasn't. It was more of they didn't want their technology to be reverse engineered. So the whole point behind the nuking of it was so they went so not only did they not want it getting out, but they went so far as to I'd rather kill myself than give you the opportunity to have my tech. Which is a thing, and we didn't mention about Predator Badlands. It's very low tech. Which is cool, which I liked. But we are just about at our time, and this is what happens.
We're good.
This is what happens. The last few of these we've done, and please, I'll say it again: like, subscribe, join us. We love talking about this stuff, and I didn't even realize how far into time we were because I was just having fun talking about it. So please join us. Tell your friends. If you've been keeping track, we've probably told you about 30 movies in the past 3 weeks that we think you should go back. Going back to Hudson Hawk and Warm Bodies and now half the Predator Alien franchise if you've never seen it. My goodness, go watch some good content. Try not to pay the extra $30, but go watch it.
All right, OGs. We'll catch you next time.